into what's going down on the streaming platforms. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna start to incorporate more than just Netflix because I feel like I got to start sharing the love here.
Well, now that Disney had, I think as of 2 weeks ago, assumed control of Hulu, effective immediately.
Yeah. Did we talk about that? When people
when anything is effective immediately, a shitstorm is coming. I think now we can start to respect Hulu a little bit more.
Yeah, or just other streaming platforms altogether, so you have HBO. I think that's okay to count as like a streaming platform because honestly, that's what I use. I use HBO now. I don't even have HBO on my actual cable. I have it through the app.
I still consider network HBO as a network with
but I think they're changing their model where it's just about like, for one, they want to create a lot more, and HBO in a weird way is the original Netflix, where they created a lot of their own original content, and that's really sort of what got them popping outside of having like just a shit ton of popular movies.
I get it. I still consider them a network with their content available through to stream.
But I would ask, like, what would be the difference between them and a Netflix?
So, I mean, Netflix is a streaming service that has only like streamable content. They're not like a television network that's bought and sold in cable TV packages, right?
Only true, but my argument would be that it's the same thing, just through different, not even different, but like through like. We are just so familiar with that whole idea of buying HBO with, whatever package you go to,
or bundle.
But that's not really different from like what Netflix is doing in terms of like, okay, Netflix literally comes with everything. Like if you buy a fucking TV, your smart TV, chances are it's going to have Netflix already on there. And so,
I mean, the TVs are coming with like the apps available, right? Mm-hmm. But you still have to have like the service
that's exactly what I'm saying of like, I don't see that as like, we see it as different because it's just, we've had one for so long, and the other is kind of newer in terms of Netflix just as a company. But if you actually think about it, it's not really different. Like,
the models are not entirely different. But again, I think for example, to get HBO, you have to have a cable service provider.
You don't.
Right?
I don't.
Well, that's HBO now, but you don't have full access to the movies and the TV
absolutely
shows.
Do.
You have access to everything that they show.
Everything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fuck. You might have just defeated me. You may have won the battle, but you haven't won the war. There's another battle coming.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Great War.
Hopefully, we'll just watch your stomach region.
I thought it was just for like their like streaming their shows. Content? I didn't know you could also watch like
movies, all like their entire library of movies.
What about like the late night porn stuff?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can get that too.
Dope.
I haven't searched for it, but
I need your login.
But I mean, isn't that kind of useless though? Like with the advent of the internet, I feel like Taxi Cab Confessions just doesn't have its same sting that it used to.
You can get darker, grittier, dirtier, nastier stuff.
The internet is the dark place.
Yeah.
All right. So on HBO, as we were talking about it, so coming out on HBO this week, Deadwood, which I believe that was a show, right? On HBO. Yeah. So this is actually a Deadwood film that they got going out, and I know nothing about Deadwood, so I'm not really I'm not really authorized to speak on it in terms of like if the characters are the same, I don't know.
So far, Netflix, HBO's been good with this. I mean, they had Entourage, the series, and then they did the Entourage feature film, which was I thought it was pretty good.
But the difference with that is I think Entourage the film came out like in theaters. This is just coming out on HBO, so I don't know. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know, right?
Yeah,
they looked at their distribution budget like. No, but
we spent all that money on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Pockets kind of tight. You guys have $3 million to make this movie.
Okay, and then you have Running with Beto, which is kind of like an HBO documentary about Beto O'Rourke running.
Yeah.
And
it's an interesting name.
Yeah. Is it Irish? Is that what that is?
I don't know. I don't know if I trust it.
I just see the O and then the apostrophe. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you're definitely Irish.
O'Rourke, yeah. I don't trust that either.
Fair enough. But yeah.
I like the guy though. He's a good guy.
Is he?
I watched the what's her name? Fucking Alexandria Ocasio. Sorry, what the fuck? I don't know.
AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Put some respect on her name.
Oh no, all the fucking respect in the world.
Yeah,
I love her. I just don't know how to pronounce her name.
AOC.
AOC. I'll call her the AO.
Yeah.
The OA. Whatever. The AOC.
The OA? What the fuck is she gonna like turn into an angel?
So I watched a Netflix documentary on her. It was covering her and like
knock down the house. I believe this is what that's called.
Yes. Yeah. Great documentary. I learned a lot about her. Learned a lot about some of the other women who were running for like mayor and Congress.
Yeah.
During what 2018?
2018 election.
2018's election.
No. That was 16.
16?
Wait, no. What?
It was between 16 and 18. Phenomenal documentary.
I'm sorry. That was 18. That wasn't 18.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was 18 when she got elected to Congress. But
was it? Nigga, it might have been before. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't care about the dates.
Okay, no, fair enough. This is just for me trying to remember.
Great documentary. Learned a lot about her. Learned a lot about those other women. I think there was Illinois and there was Nevada and there was like Detroit and Chicago. Covered these 5 women who were running for office. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal work. Beto O'Rourke, I've followed him a bit, and I like some of the things he's saying. So, I like some of the things he's saying. I don't agree with everything.
I think he's just more of the same.
I think
he's more of the same. He's more of the same, but perhaps he's definitely not as smooth as Obama was, but he's sort of Obama-esque in terms of like just. Let me put it this way: when he talks, he never really says anything. It sounds like he's saying something, but it's all actually
like aspirational.
It's all just fucking
think big.
Just general broad statements. Yeah. Nothing too solid. And if he does say something solid, it's dressed in a way where you think he's saying something solid, but he's like really kind of skirting the issue. So for instance, like, he stopped saying Medicare for all and he started using some other fucking term because he doesn't want to have like sound bites of him being like, yeah, I'm definitely for Medicare for all if he should win. You want to be like, I never actually said Medicare for all, to be perfectly honest with you, and so it's just like, it's a lot of that shit. And then also watch where the money's coming from, like where he's being funded like who's funding him.
Yeah. And I still have to do my learnings, right? Yeah. So far, I like some of the things he said. I have a lot of questions, so I'd really like to see this documentary.
Yeah. That's a very good political answer. You just very, very politician like
anyone can run in Baltimore.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It doesn't matter what your history is. If you've done crimes, it doesn't matter.
You can have 3 murder convictions of children and become a mayor in Baltimore.
Yo, they'd be like, who's your running mate? Who's running with you?
Fucking arsonist.
All right, so let's talk about what's coming out on Netflix. You have Historical Roast with Jeff Ross, which it's kind of like a comedy special. It's like they do they dress up as like historical figures and then they just like roast each other. Yeah. Look, I said this when I was watching the trailer for it. This could really go either way, but I'm only saying that to be kind. It really can kind of just go the one way. I don't think there's anything about this.
Yeah. Jeff Ross, very funny guy. I always love his segments whenever he's doing like a Comedy Central roast of.
Oh, I know him from. Doesn't he have his own like not radio show, but like XM or whatever the fuck it's called?
His own like
Sirius
Radio XM. Yeah. But I know him most from like Comedy Central roast, like the roast of Charlie Sheen, the roast of Justin Bieber. Yeah, fucking hilarious guy. Yeah. Dressing up as historical figures.
Yeah, well, it's not just him; it's like other people too, like dressing up. They dress up as like one person dressed up as like fucking owners. Like Hitler. Yeah, it was just I don't know.
Fuck out of here.
So you have Chopsticks, which is I think it's like an Indian film. I might be getting that wrong because I didn't see like it wasn't
sounds Korean.
You're right. That was
risky joke. Risky joke. Especially with the current political climate, and
you're definitely gonna have to issue some sort of statement about that later. Yeah, I feel that coming on. No, but it is an Indian film, but I think it's an Indian film, but I wasn't able. I clearly didn't know what language they were speaking, but that's what it seemed like. But it seemed vaguely interesting. It was just like about this woman who thinks she's trying. I don't know. There's some like mystery that she has to solve, and it's like her wacky day and trying to solve this. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the most general
tepid.
mystery. She's trying to solve a wacky
Dude,
day.
I couldn't understand what the fuck they were saying. So my bad. Then you have Svaha. Svaha, I believe, which is actually a Korean mystery movie.
Really?
Ironically enough, it's called Sava, the Sixth Finger. Don't know what that was about. I watched like half of the trailer, then I realized that I genuinely don't know what's going on here, so I've just stopped watching this. Not because I was mad at it, it's because I just didn't. I had no idea what
but
the fuck
good
was
for
going
them
on.
and everybody who worked on that project.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch.
Way
it,
to save it.
You know.
Okay, and then you have Always Be My Maybe, which is a Ali Wong and Randall Park comedy. It's basically just like a rom com with them. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I have not seen that trailer
Because it's like everywhere. They're throwing the trailer up everywhere, and yeah.
Okay, I like Ali Wong.
Ali Wong's great, man.
Yeah,
she's
I like her.
dope. Yeah, I really like Ali Wong. And Randall Park too. He's the guy from I don't know if you've ever seen Fresh Off the Boat.
No.
Okay.
I
Damn, I'm trying because he's been in like a shit ton of movies. I'm sure you've seen.
I'm 90% sure if I saw his face. The name sounds
Absolutely.
familiar. If I saw his face, it would.
Absolutely,
It would
yeah.
all
I'm
come
positive
together.
that you remember.
But yeah, Ali Wong. I liked her two most recent stand-ups. I think she's cool because she gives like when you see her and you hear her,
Two vastly
yes,
different things.
right?
Yeah,
and you love that in a person, right? Like,
yeah.
I have my fucked up perception of you just by seeing you,
Yeah.
and then you give me something way different, and you like open my eyes,
Yeah.
right? And you kind of prove me a little wrong in a way.
Yeah.
I love that.
There you go. Bad Blood season 2, which is basically just like a show about drugs. Netflix has its abundance of shows about drugs, and Bad Blood doesn't figure to be any different.
Drug people like drug shows.
More or less. They have Black Spot season 2, How to Sell Drugs Online Fast, which I believe is a German film. But it's kind of cool. I think it's actually
if it's German, I don't want to watch it.
Well, no. Well, okay, fair enough. But I think it's actually based on real life events, if I'm to understand correctly, about this kid who, like, in order to like impress his girlfriend or some shit, or impress like a girl he's trying to impress, he starts like selling drugs online or some shit, and then it just like he actually becomes like one of the biggest drug dealers like in Germany.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, or something crazy like that. Something weird. I might be butchering that, but it's something along those lines.
Did he smash?
I don't know. It was a trailer. I didn't watch the actual
it to
thing.
figure out.
Yeah,
Is it all in German?
That's what kind of threw me off.
That shit.
Well, that yikes. That's what also threw me off.
Now we're gonna be at war with Germany again.
Germany, Korea, and India. All three of those. Just because you have your quips, your comments. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell because most of it was in English, but also like they would say something every now and then. I was like, that wasn't anything that
like
I
German
recognized.
English.
Something, yeah.
Fuck.
German English. You have Killer Ratings, which is a Brazilian documentary. It's kind of weird, crazy story about this TV show host who like ended up like committing murders for TV ratings. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like,
I'm watching that. Killer Ratings.
Killer Ratings. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely was interested in that.
That actually sounds good. So he would commit murders.
Yeah,
I'm guessing his show would like cover those murders.
Something to that degree where like it was like he was doing these, but he was also like a politician as well, and I don't know, it's just like weird, kind of crazy story. So I'm definitely curious about that.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. And then When They See Us, which is Ava DuVernay's sort of like her take on the Central Park Five.
Yep.
And I say take, I mean, I don't mean that in any sort of like disrespectful way.
I think this is
it's her
the story being told from a different perspective,
or not even just a different perspective, just like the story being told. Yeah. So yeah, that actually looked really good. Once I sat down and actually watched the trailer for it, I was like, oh, okay,
I saw
this
the
actually looks
trailer
really, really interesting.
Last night.
Yeah.
Looked really, really good.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna watch that.
Yeah. And then we have Arthal Chronicles, which is I don't know. It was some foreign film or foreign show that I didn't really understand. And then we have O Ramona, which is, again, I think this is an English film, but also it might be, I don't know. But it looked weird. And it looked like one of those weird American Pie type of movies where this dude just is trying to like he has this girl that he's like sort of fixated on. And then I don't know. It's just like this weird story about like how he's like
The
tries to
classic
go
American
fuck.
story of young boy trying to fuck a
Trying to
girl.
fuck.
and
Yeah,
they
but then
get-
he has another girl that he's also like attracted to. So I don't think it's
polygamy. I like the story.
but like Ramona, the girl that he originally is like trying to get with, I think he ends up getting with her, but then perhaps like he finds this other girl, which is actually a pretty curious thing. I was just thinking about is like that would be a pretty good story if like like they always have the story about the whimsical girl who like the guy is like infatuated with,
Yeah.
and then like he doesn't get her, then he like gets her in the end. What if you have a story where he does get her and then the relationship's shitty and then he wants to move on to like, and I'm sure there's
then
other
that, like,
stories about this.
And then she's like, "Oh, I don't give head," and he's like, "What?" And then he's like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I don't feel it anymore. The magic is gone.
Something changed. I don't know what.
Yeah, let me call that girl I met at the bar a couple weeks back.
Yeah. And I'm sure that there's movies about that, sort of plot line already. But
He travels halfway around the world.
Yeah,
to
to like
her.
be with her, and then
He finds her in
realizes.
Rome at a cafe. And
Yeah.
she's like, "Yeah, I don't suck dick."
Well, isn't that actually
he
that
catches
isn't
the
that
next flight out.
isn't that a Ben Stiller movie where he meets this woman, he like falls in love with her, and then he goes on vacation with her, and it's like a fucking train wreck. And
Yes.
then, is it It's not Along Came Polly. It's something
that
else.
was
It's
with Jennifer Aniston.
Fuck.
Because I remember
The Heartbreak Kid.
Yes.
It was the Heartbreak
yes,
Kid.
yes.
Yeah. That's funny.
And I remember he had to like at the end of the movie, she got like stung by a jellyfish and he had to, like pee on her leg or something like that.
Something crazy. Yeah.
The movie ended really weird, but it was a funny movie.
Yeah. Okay, so here are some throwback picks for the streaming services. Amazon Prime, we've got Reservoir Dogs and the whole Friday the 13th series.
The
Which-
whole thing.
The whole thing. They've got the first one through like Jason Goes to Manhattan or some shit. I'm not sure why they don't have Jason X, because I feel like that was the pinnacle of although they might. I didn't look that hard, but
I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. I like Jason X. Give me some like off the wall shit. Like give me some good shit. Throw some off the wall shit in there. And get back to the original story.
yeah.
Not like what they did with Fast and Furious, where they gave you some good shit, then they
Yeah.
do Tokyo Drift in there.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Do it the other way, the better way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I've lost so much respect for you with that comment.
I like Jason X.
All right, on Hulu we've got Broad City season 5, which I
Hulu?
didn't Hulu.
Yeah, you said Huli.
Oh, whoops.
Fucking
I'm
Hulu.
drunk. No, yeah, I haven't watched season 5 of Broad City. To be honest, I don't think I even watched like half of season 4, but I want to finish the series out. It's one of those weird series that like when I first started watching it, I was like, this series is fucking amazing, and then like as it just went on, I was just like, it's kind of stupid.
To be honest, I've never even heard of this series.
Broad City. What's her name? Damn, what are the name? It's like Abby something, and then I forget what the other girl's name is, but it's like two women who, yeah, I don't know. It's a show on Comedy Central.
Never heard of this, but
Yeah,
I like how
think
you
would-
filtered yourself there. You were like two girls, women.
Yeah,
women.
you got it.
I saw the fear in your
the
eye.
patriarchy. Yeah, you
politically
gotta
correct.
correct the patriarchy here.
Women.
Yeah, but it started off as a really good show for me. I thought it was a really dope show, but it just never. I don't know. I don't know. It just kind of
Just didn't do it for you.
do much for me
Towards the end.
Then Netflix, we've got Batman Begins and then The Dark Knight, both dropping this week.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
I might catch one of those.
yeah. I know what I'm doing for the next few days.
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, not The Dark Knight Rise.
No, but I have that on some other
VHS?
Voodoo. Have you ever heard of Voodoo?
Voodoo? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, VUDU. I have it saved on there, so I always have access to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I might be doing that. But
Not
anyways.
gonna watch Batman Begins. It was good. I'm not gonna watch it. The Dark Knight
No,
Rise.
The
I will
Batman
watch that.
Begins is like, the stepchild to The Dark Knight, and then The Dark Knight Rises. It's like, come on, like I guess we need to accept this because like it's there.
No,
But
it
also-
was good. It was good.
Yeah,
but,
just not as good. Yeah.
watch it 4 times good.
No.
Or for the 4th time.
Oh,
Nah.
I'm sure I've watched it more than 4 times. Clearly.
Usually it's been like fuck, there's nothing else on. It was either that or
MASH.
Man of Steel.
Yeah. Oh, Man of Steel.
I'm gonna watch Batman Begins.
I don't know. Again, Man of Steel wasn't that bad.
Why not?
It could have been better. Could have been better.
But I would choose Batman Begins over Man of Steel.
All right. Well, let's talk about some trailers.